Food aid in the United States is about to be slashed at a time when experts say it's needed more than ever. The Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, is facing the largest funding cut in the program's history. Here are 4 things to know about changes coming to the program and what it can mean for those reliant on the benefits. 1. President Donald Trump's Big Beautiful policy and spending legislation will cut $186 billion in federal funding from the program over the next decade, according to projections from the Congressional Budget Office.
We're definitely witnessing a major shift in SNAP, unlike anything we've seen since the program was created.
Elaine Waxman is a senior fellow at the Urban Institute, focusing on food insecurity and federal nutrition programs.
It will change the structure in significant ways for the first time.
And to fill the gap for the roughly 22 million families on SNAP, states will have to help pay for the benefits their residents receive. Depending on the scenario, that could be as much as 15% of the benefits costs. Waxman worries the worst case, but possible scenario is states will have to pull out of SNAP because they can't make up the funding gap.
The federal government has clearly stated it will not pay for a state shortfall if they're not able to make that match. Then it's possible that states would have to withdraw from the program altogether.
2. SNAP already had some work requirements, but the Big Beautiful Bill expands them to include people aged 55 to 64, parents of minors 14 and older, and veterans. Now, SNAP recipients will be required to work 80 hours per month in order to get the benefits. The idea is increased work requirements lead to increased workforce participation, but
research tells us that, unfortunately, they don't really work. And that may sound counterintuitive to people, but what we know is that they don't increase work effort. They don't result in higher incomes. And what they do result in is a lot of people leaving the program and not being better off.
3. The Congressional Budget Office estimates the new work requirements will lead to an estimated 3 million fewer people participating in SNAP. And this is a huge gap that charitably operated food banks won't be able to cover. According to Feeding America, a national food bank network, for every meal given by a food bank, SNAP provides 9.
If you look at food pantry visits in Minnesota, since 2019, they have tripled.
Sophia Linares-Coy is the executive director of the Food Group, a food equity nonprofit in Minnesota.
As grocery prices have gone up, the charitable food system has expanded dramatically. And so the idea that then it can expand again to compensate for these federal cuts, it's just simply not realistic.
And with states now on the hook to find ways to pay for SNAP for their residents, Linares-Coy worries disparities across the country will worsen.
As it starts being customized state to state, I think what's very concerning is, someone in Minnesota may be able to have enough benefits to feed their family, and someone, next door in Iowa might not. And what does that mean? And does that mean people will need to make really difficult choices even about where they live in order to feed their families?
4. Another major change will be eligibility for aid. Undocumented migrants have never been eligible to access SNAP benefits, and that has not changed. However, the list of immigrants and others who can participate has been cut significantly. Refugees, asylum seekers, victims of human trafficking, and domestic violence survivors under the Violence Against Women Act can no longer access SNAP benefits. This, Linares-Coy says, will affect local communities on a personal and economic level.
Culturally connected meats, halal meats, culturally connected produce, that can be really expensive and not available in your average food shelf situation. And ethnic grocery stores in rural communities can see some of the highest SNAP redemption rates of a lot of grocery stores. So there's also going to be this economic impact. And in some rural groceries, there's just not margin to handle a lack of sales.
Not to mention the fear of going out to receive those benefits.
In the past, we've encouraged, apply for all the programs you're eligible for. Some of them don't even feel safe coming out of their house to go to a charitable food distribution anymore. So I think we're just seeing a real chilling effect of everyone feeling like it's not safe to ask for help. And what that ultimately means, right, is that there are going to be kids who go hungry.
For PBS News, I'm Laura Santana.